Frank Festa, Roundabout Way. Mayor, are the council members employees of Scotch Plains?
That's a kind of a complicated question. It seems simple, but isn't.
Mayor, are the council members full or part-time?
That's also a complicated question.
I was just going to say, it can't be answered with one word.
Are any of the council members receiving medical benefits?
Yes.
Can you tell me which one of the council members, or all of them?
I do, and the deputy mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming out.
There was one person who asked earlier regarding health benefits that you said you do take, and I guess my question simply to you is, how as a part-time elected official do you justify taking them?
That's your comment, I guess. This is not a debate, but Mr. Renaud, would you have any comments? I have. Thank you for your comment.
Are we talking legally?
Just as a general question.
Yeah, it's permitted because, well, I actually was asked to check, and I did check. There's a local finance notice, 2010-12, called Section E on page 2, indicates that appointed or elected officers who were appointed or elected prior to May 21st, 2010, as long as they remain in their elected in an elected or appointed position continuously, are eligible.
It's not the case that they have to remain in the same elected position?
No, I don't believe that's the case. As long as they remain, as somebody asked the question, that's why I said before, it was a complicated question as to whether the members of the mayor and the members of the council are employees. They're employees for some purposes. They're officials for some purposes. So no, as long as somebody remained an employee, they'd be covered under that local finance notice.
And if they weren't an employee and they weren't an elected official back in 2010?
I've lost the thread of this now.
Well, if somebody was not elected in 2010 and they've since become elected, how could they be eligible for receiving the benefits?
That one I'd have to take a look at, or have probably more properly a personnel council take a look at it.
Okay, I guess my question still stands to the mayor, not from a legal perspective, but just a general perspective. And if you don't want to answer it and not have a debate, I guess that's your prerogative. But I just want to give you that opportunity.
Well, thank you for your comment. I've heard it for many years now.
Okay, and then a couple other quick follow-up comments. This would be directed to the mayor and the manager, I suppose. When we transitioned from private health insurance to the state health benefits plan in July 1 of 2015, did anybody ask our health broker at the time, Doyle Alliance, if part-time employees were eligible to remain under the health benefits?
I don't remember asking Doyle Alliance anything along those lines.
Anybody else?
That's what I'm aware of. If you're asking me, or anybody.
I'm also aware there have been employees in the past. There was one young African American woman who was working in the DPW who, and this is in my salary sheets right here, she was a full-time employee. I see she was cut down to half-time approximately based on her salary, and she subsequently left the town. And I know, you and I have talked about this when we're hiring people in part-time. Hey, we're hiring them part-time. This is good. We're not paying benefits. We're saving the town money. So my question was, when her or people like her who have been reduced to full-time or part-time are reduced, are they afforded the opportunity to, work sufficient hours so as to claim that they're full-time?
That wasn't the position that this person was reduced to. I determined that it wasn't necessary for a full-time position up there in the public works, and we could accomplish the task with a part-time person 2 part-time people for that matter, and then I made the decision that we would move her to 20 hours per week, or 24 hours, whatever it was.
Okay.
I don't recall the exact amount of hours.
Do we in Scotch Plains, do we afford any employees who are part-time the opportunity to define their own amount of hours worked by virtue of spending more hours here?
No, people have a set schedule, a set amount of hours, and that varies from time to time based on the need. Some people work a little bit more, some people work a little bit less. I do have some employees that it varies, but most of us stick to a pretty regular schedule.
Okay. I'm aware that the state DCA's office has posted its annual best practices worksheet, which we do on an annual basis, and it's required you have to fill it out, you send it down, they score you. Depending on your score, you get all of your state aid or somewhat less of your state aid.
Right.
And this question of part-time employees receiving health benefits is one of their questions on there, and if you answer in the affirmative, you get dinged some points for it. I'm also aware that this year the governor changed the rules so that the maximum penalty is no longer 5% of state aid, but that in fact you can lose all of your state aid now if you score too low on it. So I guess my question just there is, can we please be very diligent in checking the rules on this and make sure that only people who are eligible for benefits are receiving them, so that we are not penalized on our best practices and subsequently jeopardize any of our state aid?
Well, you may be suggesting that I wasn't diligent last year when I.
I'm not suggesting that last year. I'm not suggesting. I'm just not talking about going forward.
Okay, we just got the new checklist that
Yep.
comes out every year, and it's best practices, and I intend to review every single question and answer it to the best of my ability in the correct manner.
Absolutely. Thank you. And that notice, is that made public? I believe it's supposed to be.
It's on the website.
It is on our website? Okay.
Well, when it's completed, it will be posted, yes.
Okay. Is last year's posted on our
Yes.
website? Okay.
It is.
If you could send me a link to it, I couldn't find it there.
I will.
Mayor, if I might, one more, sorry. I just wanted to follow up to something, Mr. Renaud. I pulled up this section E that you referenced here, and if I might, if I could just read it out here, it says, individuals who are re-elected or appointed to the same position are considered to be continuously employed. A change in elected office is considered election to a new position, and they are subject to the minimum 35-hour work week rule. So wouldn't the mayor, having been a councilman and then resigning his council seat to take the mayor's seat, wouldn't that constitute a newly elected position?
Give me the section again.
And this is heading E in Local Finance Notice 2010-12. It says Section E, Employee Eligibility. State Health Benefits Plan members only.
You read a part that I didn't, that isn't in mine.
Maybe there's more than one heading called E.
You know what we could do? If you want to email that to me, I'll take a look at
Certainly.
it, compare it to what I'm looking at, because I've got one that reads differently.
Okay.
Okay. Any other comments?